Hey, what's everyone? My name is Lionel. I'm your host for LTV Productions, and you are watching I Watch You Watch. I'm usually on camera and you're hearing my voice. Unfortunately, my camera did not record what I already recorded, so this is an alternative. We are covering Love and Marriage Detroit episode 6 of season 2. This is the mid-season finale. We start the episode with Kimberly and Christina still going at it. They come to a place of no resolve but at least existing since they're going to be in the same friend group. After 6 episodes, I still do not know what Kimberly nor Christina's issues are. Do you? Let me know in the comments. Christina sits down with her brother to discuss Brandon. But first, we get backstory of the singers in their family. Their dad and mother are connected to Dr. Andre Crouch. Her mother is featured on a song with Andre Crouch. If you know anything about gospel, the Crouches are legendary. I plan to research to find the song to listen to it. The next scene is in the studio, at Star Factory. Christina has been offered an opportunity to record a song to be played at the Detroit Pistons game. Her brother and well-known producer are there, but she's having a hard time with the song, wanting Brandon to be in the studio to help her. Christina sits down with her brother to discuss Brandon. But first, we get backstory of the singers and their family. Their dad and mother are connected to Dr. Andre Crouch. Her mother is featured on a song with Andre Crouch. If you know anything about gospel, the Crouches are legendary. I plan to research to find the song to listen to it. They talk about the state of her marriage, and by no surprise to me, her brother says divorce should be your last option. From what I got from the conversation, don't give up on your marriage. The next scene is at Russell and Colby's. Colby's Aunt Carla comes over. She is twin to Colby's mother. Aunt Carla comes over to help redecorate Kendall's bedroom for the new baby. Colby expresses how she feels having another girl. Aunt Carla gives us information about her using IVF and lost 2 sets of twins. She was angry at God because she did everything right, according to the Bible. Her husband received a position to work in the youth department at the church, and Aunt Carla refused to help. She came around and fell in love with the ministry and the children. She said those children are her babies. She also said she received her healing from those children assigned to. You've heard the saying, God works in mysterious ways. Aunt Carla received babies through another path. She and her husband had a purpose with the children at the church. I am happy she told this story. She encouraged Colby to forget about the gender and ask God, what is your purpose in raising this child? Children are not a curse. They are a blessing. Aunt Carla jokes that the child could look just like Colby since Kendall looks exactly like Russell.
The next scene we see Anthony meeting with his Aunt Cheryl. They talk about losing the giants in the family. His father and grandmother. They talk about grief and say there is no time stamp you can put on someone to grieve. Anthony says he pays attention to his boys because they were really close to his dad. If adults have a hard time with grief, imagine what children are going through. Anthony also mentions Aunt Cheryl's battle with cancer. I have enjoyed seeing more family members on this season. Now I know why Anthony is involved in the man's movement, because of the legacy of his father. We are back in the studio and Christina is recording. Brandon joins her and coaches her through the recording. After she delivers on the song, they talk. Christina informs Brandon that Anthony wants Christina on his podcast to discuss her artistry. We learn Brandon is CEO of Christina as an artist. Since when did that happen? We were told Brandon told her she couldn't be an artist. The most I want is a bridge between the gaps. Brandon says he has to be there because he doesn't know what could pop off at a podcast. Christina says Chelsea is going to be in charge of marketing and will be at the podcast. Brandon says he'll definitely be there if Chelsea is. Anthony owes her an apology. Christina invites Brandon back to the house. I'm confused on what Brandon did to get back in the house. Did the ring pull off this move?
Anthony has his next man's movement at a high school. He invited quite a few people to be speakers. One included the Miss Detroit. He has Russell, Bravo, Marcel, and he invited Brandon, but he did not show up until after the event. Bravo feels away because he was not asked to do with me today or this event. Anthony had him doing a lot for the last one and he doesn't understand why he was doing anything this time. After the event, everyone gives Anthony his accolades for a great turnout and Anthony invites everyone to dinner, his treat. Brandon shows up asking, what did you miss? You missed everything, Brandon. The men talk for a few minutes and Brandon tells Anthony that he needs to apologize to Chelsea. Anthony says that he's never apologizing to that bird. Brandon says if we're going to be around each other you can at least squash things with her. Anthony is derogatory towards Chelsea and also Brandon. I do not feel like Anthony should continue doing that towards the Smiths. He did that earlier in the season, but you're continuously asking for their participation and things that you have going on. Obviously, there is value and weight that they carry, but for some reason you think they are beneath you. Anthony, you are my god, but stop being hypocritical and saying mean things about the people you choose to hang around and be a part of what you have going on. Our last scene is Brandon coming back into the house. We see him with a handful of clothes, and I'm wondering if this is all that he put from the house when he left. P just looks very suspicious, Brandon, and we kind of need some answers to fill in the gap as to this whole separation you had. That was the end of the episode. This is the mid-season finale. I don't know when the next episode will be out. We are preparing for Huntsville to come back on the 2nd of November. Bell Collective comes back on November 1st on a Friday. Y'all let me know how you feel about this Missing You finale, and I will chat with you soon.
Until the next one, peace.